did a little small melee session. I was
Nice.
practicing Punish and just playing.
Nice. How have both of those been going?
The Punish, really good. So, I mean, I know our lesson's gonna be, or like I want to talk to you about Punish in general. I mean, Mans has also helped me out, and he told me to just focus on combo training and just tech chasing, really. Spacing.
Oh,
So that's exactly what I've been doing. But
can you share your screen? Like, are you an UnclePunch or something?
uh, let me show you right now.
Yeah,
What I
sure.
was doing.
It should just be like a share your screen button or something if you're on a computer.
Yeah, I had Slippy closed, so
Oh, no worries.
again.
Excellent. Okay. So why don't you walk me through what you're doing right now, or what you do
Okay.
normally, I guess.
So what I started doing is combo training, FT since there's no platforms,
Yeah.
and then just or I would use up air since it knocks down the fastest, or it knocks down the earliest, not the fastest, but it knocks down the earliest. And then after knockdown, I would just follow.
That's good. I find that the training lab is a little better for this personally. Have you ever used that
Oh,
before?
the training no, actually.
So yeah, first one. So yeah, we just go in. So now there's a few cool things that you can do. So down on the D-pad will bring him towards where you are. So if you want to move him around,
Yeah.
I think left on the D-pad will I think create a save state. Can you try that? It should be the left. If it's not doing anything, then try right.
Oh, there you go. I just did it.
Okay, perfect. So then right will load it where you are. So go to the other side of the screen. Yeah.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh, I think I might have. Oh, that's probably because your D-pad might not be like put in correctly or like
My D-pad
centered.
might my D-pad might be fucked. That's not good.
It's not the biggest deal in the world. But yeah, like so. Are you just doing left or like left and right, and it's taunting and stuff?
I pressed right, and now it's pressing down.
Oh, I
It's
see.
not doing
Okay,
anything. I did
that's
recently just get it. Uh, Actually, no, I didn't even open. Why is it messed up?
You know what? I bet that the thing that I bet the have you ever opened your controller and taken out the buttons and putting them back in?
I haven't done it in a long time. The last time that was done was actually at Genesis.
Okay, but it has happened, right?
Yeah.
I bet they might have put the D-pad in incorrectly because it almost never comes up. But there's it's angled. Like
Hmm.
the actual D-pad has an angle that it compensates for some of that. So no worries, we don't have to try to make this work. What we can't
Okay.
like, but I like this mode. If you do get that sorted, the D-pad sorted out, I really like this because if we go into the pause menu, right,
Yeah.
we can go to CPU options. Yep.
Right.
So we can control what percent he's at, we can control what DI he's doing, and because it doesn't reload from the last position unless we want to, if we want to try
Hmm.
continuing the combo anyway, like if we want to like experiment with different percents, this is I think way more convenient for doing that.
Hmm. Okay.
So like here, let's with this, why don't we put his trajectory DI to well, how do you normally practice? Do you just use like random?
Yeah, just random and try to react.
I actually like using no DI and
Okay.
no DI outwards and inwards, any of the three, because they give you the maximum. Why don't we do outwards?
Whoops.
Inwards
Yeah.
is fine.
I,
Smash
I
DI
just
to
pressed O.
smash DI to reject frequency. We're gonna turn off because most players don't smash DI every single hit. It's
Okay.
usually just specific ones that they're primed for, like Fox's drill, up through
Hmm.
up air, stuff like that. So we don't want that mucking with our with like what we're with the trajectories. So let's do
Okay.
outwards yeah, this looks perfect. So
Okay.
then we're actually going to cheat and we're going to go back into the previous menu because those are the computer options, but we can actually still use save states. We just go to recording.
Hmm.
So then just save positions. And when we want to bring him back here, we just do restore positions. So like if you get out of the menu and go somewhere else on the stage and go to like restore positions.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So you can still use like the D-pad. It's two buttons instead of one. So
Okay.
so it's completely unplayable. But yeah. So like, show me some up air stuff. Because now he DIs away from it. So because it's a controlled trajectory, you can practice against that trajectory and get get a sense of how far he can go.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot more sense, actually.
And like, if you do inwards, then it'll be the other way. It'll be flipped. See, he's DIing into everything. Now, with DI inwards, they just like, some moves that have a 90-degree angle, it just depends on what side you're on, I think. Like, so up air and up throw are going to just kind of do whatever. Like, it just depends on what side you're on, like, they're on relative to you when they're, like, hit or thrown. So that one's going to be a little bit more variable, but then even that still gives you a sense of, like, what it's like to chase DI.
Right.
And you can also get a sense for, like, where the limits are. Let's actually turn something else on that's fun. So in the general options, because this isn't a computer thing and it's not recording, let's go down to DI display and turn that on. Because this one's fun. You're going to like this.
Okay. Oh, it shows me exactly where it's going.
Yeah, because remember, this is all vectors. So let's put them on random DI and just like goof off a bit while we kind of talk about like about advantage state and combos and all that good stuff. So all of this looks perfect. You are good. Whatever percent you want.
I will do 10.
Sure.
All right.
Why 10?
I don't know. Actually, I
Well,
think 2 is probably a bit too low.
Do 25.
2 is the knockdown percent.
Do 25.
All right.
Because this is after an up. This would be like after an up throw up smash, basically.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like it's after a standard like B&B, like yeah, it's just kind of like getting used to a common percentage breakpoint in the matchup.
Okay.
So, what's your like thought process when you're doing these? When you see these combos, like what do you think Fox's biggest weaknesses are in terms of like getting killed and punished?
When I'm the one getting hit, or when I'm doing the.
Well, I mean, like your options are the same whether you're the Fox getting hit or the Fox hitting them. Like you're still both Fox. You're still Fox in either case, right? So, like, what is what is good against Fox?
I don't think I can play. I don't think I can play and talk.
Okay, that's okay.
It's making me think about. All right, let's see. So what am I thinking in specifically? Correct?
Yeah, like what when you're hitting a Fox with Fox? What are like the priorities for you?
For me, the priorities would be to. I want to get him off stage, so I want to keep him in the air within hits. I want to keep him in the air with hit stun, and get him off stage.
Yeah, you kind of dribble him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like up airs, up smash, up throw, like even like nair sometimes if they hold in. Like it's all like up tilt. It's all kind of like dribbling him towards the corner, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then if he holds in forever, then we have plan B, which would be like kill him off the top. But that's kind of like a backup plan to like edgeguarding him. Okay, I like, or like if he happens to like get to the end game, if you want him to stop air dodging, you can make him do that too. You can just go to CPU options and then air escape. You can put him to like something else. So counteraction air. So that one, yeah, we can put him to none or like shine or whatever. None is fine.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this mode compared to like combo training though?
This is way better, honestly, because the thing I don't like about the combo training was the same thing I didn't like about the ledge dash training, how it resets. I mean, so I didn't like how there were moments where I could extend the combo with like a nair or with a fair, and then into a grab up because it air dodges because it's not a true combo. It just reset, and I was like, oh shit, all right, I guess. And then I'll try to replicate the same thing, but since it's random DI, you can't replicate it as much.
Yeah, you can still toggle DI. You can toggle DIs as well in combo training, but I still like this more. I think that for players like Meds, who already have like a really good sense of like what their game plan are and stuff, like it's really easy for them to just get like into combo training. And I get it, but I think that it's not actually that good for like people who are learning. So if I was still playing Sheik, I think I'd probably like combo training a lot more. But because I'm learning a new character that I don't understand fully yet, I like this way more.
Yeah, no, this is actually, I never thought about using training lab outside of just using it as just I used it to figure out percents for knockdown percents, and then I just used it to just move around the stage. I didn't really use it for much, like outside of that. I didn't know its true potential, I guess.
Oh, if you want to know more about how to use this thing effectively, like, this is one of the most useful tools, I think, when it comes to like exploring the game and learning where your character's parameters are, because no other mode gives you the same control that this one does. Like, any of the modules except for basically the Armada Shine training, and even that one you could probably do, any of them can be made in here. So this is like just an incredible sandbox for you to play in. And if you get your D-pad sorted out, it gets even more convenient. Like, I'm not even kidding you, it's crazy.
I'm probably gonna open my controller after our session, honestly. Because it's probably just the rubber part that's just not in the correct spot.
Know what it probably is? It's either that or there's like there's a corner. Like the button is not like the actual button itself is not symmetrical. There's a corner of it that is like cut differently, and it, I think, denotes where it's supposed to be. Like how it's supposed to be aligned with the rest of the controller, and I think that might just be like off a bit. So there's like a little bit of extra pressure coming up from a side, but it could also just be the rubber too. Like, could be tons of things.
Oh, you cut off at the end.
Oh, did I? Okay, my bad. No,
you're good.
Okay, I'm just saying that, like, so actually maybe I'll just do a picture. I'm better at it. So I'm just going to draw something real quick and then show you, and I think you'll get it. I just need the protractor. There we go. This is fine. Doesn't matter what color. Why is it not doing the thing? There we go. And then, so, controller, like no. I'm so bad at using computers sometimes. But yeah, I swear I'm better at this game than I am at computers. I'll put it that way. But basically, yeah, there we go. So copy. So the controllers are shaped like this. Like the thing underneath the D-pad is shaped like this, because I think there's a side of it that's like, it's not like a perfect circle, because there's a part. Yeah, but it will still go back in correct. It'll still go back in, but I just think sometimes the button, like a button or something, is compressed when it shouldn't be.
That makes a lot more sense, actually. I thought it was a complete circle.
Nope, there's part of it. This isn't perfect, but there's a part, like, it's not quite that like exaggerated. But yeah, there's a part of it that you'll see it as soon as you open it up.
Okay.
So yeah, I would agree with everything you've said about like punish priority. How do you feel the tech chase works into this?
Hold on. How do I think the tech chase works into this? Do you mean?
Well, we dribble Fox to the edge, and we with our launchers and stuff, and then ideally we edge guard him. But if he holds in, then sometimes, we keep him on, we combo him on stage. So how does tech chasing, because that's a really common way to combo Fox as Fox. So how do you think that kind of factors into this?
I don't know how to answer that, actually.
That's okay.
That's because it's a very specific question that's tied to it. It's like, I don't know how to answer this. It's something I probably have not thought of. Because I would think, if I punish, I would think it's not just juggling. Because it's like, it's how you told me when I first when I first messaged you, like it's a broad thing. It's not just one specific, like, punish is not just one thing. It's a broad umbrella. It's a really big umbrella. It covers a lot of things. And
yeah.
Is one of them. I can't.
Yeah, you've got sharking, like you've got juggle states that come from after finishing a combo when you can't like when you hit them up but you can't follow up directly. Like, that's a big part of it. You've got Edgeguarding, which is like, it's how you win this game for most of the cases. You've got things like tech chasing. You've got ledge pressure, like ledge trapping. Not so much in this game, but like it is still there in some capacity. It's just not as good because of ledge dash. But you've got like you've got a lot of stuff that make up like, and then on top of that, you have like juggling, corner carry. You've got like you've got lots of combo styles. So I think that like part of what makes Fox so good is that he can do basically all of them. That's kind of his superpower in general. Like he has the most options, he's the only character in the game who can play offense and defense in basically any spot. As long as it's a workable fighting position, he can do either. And that's kind of like what makes him so good. So I would say here, you said that it's not been very long that you've been taking the game like more seriously, that you've really wanted to try to grow and improve. Cool. I think that if that's the case, how would you feel about playing someone ranked for me, or ranked, whatever your preference is, and we can just kind of like do live observations and go from there.
Yeah, I could do that.
Sure. Does it sound like a productive use of your time, or do you like do you like the sound of that, or do you not like the sound of that?
No, I'm actually a very I'm a much better learner when when I get corrected on the spot. If I get corrected like a couple days after or weeks after from a VOD, it's a bit hard for me for it to stick, because it's like, oh, well, I don't remember what I did there. I don't remember what I was thinking when I did there.
Yeah.
When I did that option. But if it's on the spot, it's like, oh, okay, so now I know not to do this, or I know that this is a better option, or I know what whoever's helping me, whoever's coaching me, I know that they're telling me, you know what, do this instead. It's like, okay, well, now I know what specific option he's talking about.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, these are recorded and uploaded to YouTube, so so even if you do forget, like, it's much easier, I think, to access those memories if if we have the visual information, the context, like, yeah, it just makes it easier. Absolutely. So I've put my spectator code in the chat. So what I need you to do is I need you to perfect. I see you've already done it. You're a pro. Yeah. Like, you know this stuff. What got you to decide to take playing the game more seriously?
So, I mean, I've been playing for the game for almost, I say 10 years, because I moved to Yuma in 2014, and I met a friend, and just a little bit of backstory. I met a friend who taught me how to play PM. From PM, I switched to Melee immediately. And then 2 years after, so I want to say like 5 years after, in 2018, so 3 years after, 2018, I worked at Dispatch for 5 years as a 911 emergency dispatcher, and I just would not touch the game because I couldn't travel, couldn't do anything. When I left the job, there was a tournament in Mexicali, a local tournament. It wasn't that really big, but there were top players, or big, really good players from Tijuana that were going, from SoCal. And I went with Meds, and I wasn't really playing. I was just playing to play. I wasn't playing to like really learn and get better. And then I beat a top player from Tijuana, and I was just like, holy shit, like, this feels insane. This feels really cool. And I told Juan, you know what? Screw everything else. I'm dropping all other games that I play. I want to learn how to play Melee. I want to actually learn how to play Melee. And he's like, all right then, I'm gonna show you, but it's not gonna be easy. So that moment is where it just struck it, where I just said, you know what, this sparked my fire for competition, because I've always been a competitive person, and I've always liked competing. I would watch Melee, and I'm like, holy crap, these guys are sick, these guys are cool, I want to be there. But I never really put so much time into it because of unfortunate circumstances. So when I got the opportunity, I said, no. I'm holding on to this opportunity.
Good. You know what? I love that. Because, you never, honestly, I still remember the first time I beat a PR player in my region. And it's like, and it was probably like more than 15 years ago. And I was an ICs player at the time. And I still remember remember talking mad shit to his crew after I beat him. Because, like, yo, it was like, I'll tell you this story another time. But it's like, they were making so much fun of me, and then I beat him, and then I won, and then I was just like, all right.
I was just like,
Oh my god. Okay, so like, I'll tell you quickly. So I was ice. I was
Yeah,
ice.
yeah, yeah.
So we were going into like last stock of the final game, and
Mm-hmm.
we're on battlefield. It's Puff Ices, and
Mm-hmm.
he kills my Nana immediately. So,
Okay.
but he's at like 68.
Okay.
So basically, like, if I can figure out how to land an up smash, I know he's dead.
Yeah.
So I start wave dashing across the stage, like with long wave dashes, doing down smashes. I do about.
Right.
I'm at 0, so I figure like I need to condition him and get him to go above me. And then his
Yeah.
crew started being like, all he knows how to do is wave dash down smash. And then after I got hit by about 4 back airs, I figured that was a good amount. So then I did a
Mm-hmm.
slightly shorter wave dash and up smashed. And then he jumped above it
Oh.
like he had done every single time. And then he died, and I just looked at him and was like, "Hey,
Oh.
I was just like, hey, do you guys know what conditioning is? Like, have you ever looked that up? Like, I'm just asking out of concern." Yeah.
Oh, and you did that?
Yeah.
Ah, that stings. If my opponent told me, dude, do you even know what this is? It's just like, oh.
Oh, I didn't say it to Nate. I said it to like his friends. Cause
I know, but like even my opponent or not, like if I'm rooting for my like if with Meds for example, if I'm
Mhm.
rooting for Meds, anyone he plays, regardless who they are, I'm against them. Regardless who they are, like it could be like I'm really close friends with Joey. Joey, I
Mhm.
you know, I like watching him a lot. I support him a lot. But if he's playing Meds, I'm rooting against Joey. So if the opponent was telling that to Meds or even to me, I'm like, oh damn, that stings because it's like, oh shit.
To be fair, they said some pretty heinous things during the set. But you know what? I respect that you know where where your loyalties lie and that where your
Hmm.
priorities are. So
Hmm.
I don't even view it like that, as in like you're against Joey. I just feel like you're ride or die Meds, and like,
Yeah, exactly.
okay. So let's queue up and let's watch some game. Let's watch you play.
All right.
Don't be nervous. I'm harmless.
It's too late. It's too late.
At least you acknowledged it. That took a little bit longer with some of my other learners. And let me know when we're in a match.
Oh, I probably should have told you we're in a match.
Oh, so interesting.
Sorry.
So it's not coming through on my screen. Let me see if it's something on my end. Do you play with Crystal Melee or any like the mods or anything, or no?
No, it's just default melee.
Okay, let me check Slippy for updates, because this should be working, but it is not. I'm gonna do a soft reset, I think, on Slippy. So yeah, you just play with this guy and like play with this guy, enjoy it, like finish up the match, and then like or quit out, whatever you want to do. And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna give this like a reset and try to get this working.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, thank you. So why Fox? Is he just like the most fun? Do you like it? Like what? Why Fox?
You know, actually, Fox. It sounds corny, but Meds was the reason why I picked Fox.
That's all.
So without going TLDR, really. But I kind of have to explain this. But Meds is not blood related to me. He's related to my half brother,
Oh.
and we didn't know about this for a long time. So when we found out, it was already when I was playing. We found out this when I already moved. I
Oh.
found out. I found out. Let's see. How did I find out? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a call from my parents.
No worries. Slippy has been reset as well, so you'll just have to start the broadcast again in the Slippy launcher, and we should be good.
All right. Sorry about that. Let me start the broadcast again.
Sounds good.
It's the same code.
Yep, should be the same code. I think they're tied to the like account.
Oh, you know what? They might be. I never noticed that.
It's all good. But yeah, so I'm back in, and let's queue and tell me when you're in the match, and we'll go from there. Because yeah, I've given this like a soft reset or two, and then like closed it, reopened it, so it should be fine. Okay. And if it's not, we'll have to do it through Discord.
Yeah, no worries. Alright, I'll just start talking when there's. Alright, I'm in a game now.
Okay, I don't see anything on my end, but let's just give it a second to see if it loads. If it doesn't, yeah, for some reason it's not coming through. I'll need to look into that. But is any chance you can broadcast to me? Like, any chance you can share your screen?
Yeah, I can share it.
Okay, perfect. Or stream it or whatever, yeah. Perfect. Okay, watch stream, let's go. Nice. Okay, we've got a Fox it out. Ah, okay. So...
No.
That's all good. When he's in the corner like that, don't be afraid to go over to him. Like, obviously be aware of the back throw and counter hit grab, but like remember, he has so few options because you've like put him into like a spot with no room. So you can't attack him. Just be mindful of what he can do.
Okay.
Because if you just wait for him, you know, you lose so much of your offensive power. Like, you're able to push. You put him there. That's what I'm talking about. Nice. It's clean. I liked how you did the back air.
Thank you.
I swear, you just started destroying him.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go for that up air tech chase thing, try to do it sooner. You want to like kind of hit the ground. You either want to hit the ground immediately, like as he's hitting the ground, so that you're covering miss tech with no tech with it and can up tilt or shine the other stuff, or you want to do it so that overlaps with tech stand. One of the two.
Okay.
So like earlier, or like you want to do it earlier or slightly later.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to do another one? Or?
Yeah, keep going. Unless, like, if you learn better hands-on, I am so fine with that. Like, we can keep running games with this guy and keep beating him up and learning new things until we're good. Like, that's fine. If that doesn't work for you, then we'll do something else. Or if you want to do something else, we'll do something else. But yeah.
I'm definitely a hands-on learner. It's always been my strong suit. But I've always been bad at learning delayed. For example, if I have to study something, yeah, it's horrible.
Okay. So is it that you're really bad at it, or is it that like you didn't really connect with the way it was taught? Because when I showed you the training mode stuff, like you kind of got that right away.
I think it's probably attention span, honestly. Because with hands-on, I'm busy physically. So it probably doesn't feel as draining as it would rating something as much. Because I know obviously the amount of interest falls into play when it comes to things like reading. For example, if you're really interested in a book, you're gonna more than likely burn through the entire book.
Yeah,
if you're
but
interested in reading a research paper, it'll be the same thing. But I don't know, like the million questions that you sent me, I was definitely interested in them, so I was captivated.
Well, I think it's more interactive, right? Like, because the questions I'm asking you require you to think about them. It's not like you can't just like, you know, everyone has a different answer to those things because they're what matter to you and how you solve the problem. That's the point of those questions. So I think that I think that maybe text isn't the problem. I think it might just be what you do with the text, or don't do, rather. Oh, that drill reset was... I'm actually... Well, if you want, we can actually talk about that drill reset, because that was like what you did there was pretty. So the cool thing about the reset you just did is that it's a soft reset, which it means that the opponent has access to their get up roll, their get up attack, and their get up roll other way, in addition to stand. But you can actually kind of follow their DI, their ASD, their DI by looking at how they get hit by the drill. So you can so if they move left or right, you kind of know where they're gonna go. You still have to plan for get up attack a little bit, because I think that one overrides the other two, but like still, the fact that you can kind of narrow it down to which get up option they're doing, down to like 2 of them by just looking at their DI on the drill, that's like something kind of cool.
I actually did not know that. You can react off to something, react off the drill in that sense.
Well, yeah, because
reacted to what their action would be, but I never knew that was a way to already know where they're going, you know?
Yeah, but it makes sense, right? Because it's a soft reset, meaning that it's going to look at the input that was input at the end of the like the ground damage animation. Like basically what determines if you get like jab reset and have options or not. So because we know Fox's drill meets the requirements of doing a soft reset every time because it's set knockback, yeah, we know that like it's going to be based on their DI or whether they held A, and we can observe one of those, which is pretty swag.
No.
Oh, you got a little carried away. It's okay, it happens.
I got greedy.
So why'd you go for that though? Like what about that made you think that would work?
I thought they were gonna come in closer.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I could do it.
Okay, but why go for a play where you have to know what they're gonna do? Like, don't you have enough advantage that you can cover more options by like, just like observing and reacting?
Yeah, I definitely should have chosen an option where it's not off of like a read or off of a.
That was beautiful.
Feeling. Thank you.
The nair into the up air to punish DI, like the DI in on the nair was like, and then to secure the kill with the next up air was actually really, 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 that was like sick.
No, that was not good.
No, that what you went for was perfectly fine. You were just late. If you're late, can you usually tell if you're late on a tech chase, or is it like not sure? You're usually not sure.
I'm usually not sure actually.
Okay.
Like some of them. Okay, so I'm sure that I'm late the moment I miss it. Or I'm like, oh, I could have been there quicker. I should have done this option instead. I should have done option A to cover this, you know? So I recognize that I'm late, but I don't react enough for it.
Okay.
Or I don't react as fast for it is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. So there's a way that you can actually, there is a way that you can kind of know, and it's based on rhythm. And a little bit of help from frame data. So, what do you know? Do you know anything about frame data, or is this probably not? Because like, why would you know this if you're playing for funsies? But like, so a frame is a 60th of a second, right? I mean, you know that. Okay, cool. So tech stand, tech roll forward, and tech roll back, all are invincible from frame 1 to 20 of their animation, meaning there is always 1/3 of a second where the opponent is not hittable, which means your attack has to be lined up to hit about, for tech stand, because it's a shorter one, you have like about 1/3 of a second, and then the attack should happen within like a 1/10 of a second. So it's actually, and that opening is universal across tech rolls too. So there's kind of a rhythm. There's always like a beat that happens first with techs, before you can hit them. So if you're not able to attack on that beat, which you can actually use the sound of attack, because there's that tick noise as a guideline, that can actually be a way that you can tell, or like a way that you can make that you can be aware of, like whether or not you're like make a better, just be more aware, aware of it. When you knock him over, or get knocked over, listen for that like tuk sound, because I think that's like a big thing to that I think will be interesting.
I just heard it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's things like these where it's like I never paid attention.
Huh.
But a huge portion of it's because for like 9 years, I didn't play to compete. I just played to play.
But the thing is, I think you know some of this stuff intuitively. And that's okay. And, like, that's good. But, like, you heard it, and now that you've heard it, you're not going to be able to unhear it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because I can recognize the sound now.
Yep. So then there's also a green flash when somebody misses a tech.
Oh, I've seen that one for sure.
Yeah. So you've got the tick, and then you've got the green flash, and that's so the tick and the green flash happen at about the same time, which is how you distinguish no tech and tech. And then yeah, the animations are different for the techs.
There it is, the green.
Yeah.
The green again.
Do you know the difference? Do you know the difference between what a wave dash and a dash look like?
Like
the clouds
animation?
Are different. Yeah, the clouds around your feet are different. Oh. With wave dash, they're more like clouds. With dash dance, they're like you're kicking up dust behind you because they
look pointy, right? Too?
Yeah, it's pointier and it's more directional.
Yeah.
Wave dash is poofier. Cool, huh? So that means you can, if you recognize the clouds around him, you know what his options are and when he can act, like whether he can act instantly if there's a delay out of his movement.
Actually, did not know that.
Crazy.
There's so many things I don't know, man.
But like,
this game is hard.
No, but like as you're seeing this, yeah, I am like, do you see somehow how this is like how this could be used to structure your play though and your decision making?
Yes, it's visual and audio cues.
Yeah.
So it can help me prepare myself.
Because I feel like a lot of times what people struggle with in this game is like knowing what they're like supposed to be doing and why, and this is a huge source of that information. So if you do that, if you go for that like really early up air, just be ready to shine or up tilt on the miss tech, because the idea is that you're hitting the up air during the first couple frames of his miss tech, and then or like the first like the first like half of it basically, and then you're still able to up tilt or shine the tech stand when you miss. So okay. it just keeps you like very loose. It's good for basically if you want to like combo. It's good for combos. You could also just like up tilt. Like up tilt's fun. Like up tilt's either option. Like you could wait more. It's Fox. You have a million things you can do that kill them probably.
Fox is so dumb too.
He's very good. I have strong feelings about this character conceptually, but he is fun to play. So.
Yeah, he is.
Like I think I actually used to hate him more, but like I don't know. It's hard to hate him.
He plays so fun. Like you can make him play fun, and then you can make him play really, really whack too.
I feel like sometimes playing super whack with him is kind of fun though. Like just
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like torturing some Jigglypuff player like by just making them chase you and then like or play into your like win condition over and over and over again just because you feel like it. That's fun. I'm not afraid to say it.
I'm slowly getting into the mentality that it's fun to play very quote unquote lame. Because I used to hate playing very tech chase heavy, and I liked playing how it was back in like 2017, where it's like all about just being aggression and reads and stuff like that. That's the kind of play that I grew up with and I got really used to. So when the meta started shifting more to a more punish heavy meta, where it's like one touch is gonna take a stock, I didn't go with the meta, so it was really hard for me. Like I would struggle a lot to beat anyone if it wasn't in a scrap.
Yeah, so, that's kind of I think what happened to a lot of players of that era. Like,
yeah,
we all know the ones, but like the thing is, the game. It's interesting that people say that like it's all like one-touch death, because at the very highest levels, I feel like that's pretty rare nowadays. Like, it happens like every now and then that somebody like actually takes somebody from from 0 to death, but there's a lot of defensive counterplay that comes out. So I think what people sometimes forget is that whenever like a big offensive like metagame push comes out, there's usually a defensive one about like 6 months to like a year later that kind of like gives us like a fighting chance against a lot of it.
Yeah.
So we just have to like, and if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But like, it has happened every single time. So I feel like we get into a panic over nothing. So this guy's likes to full hop. What do you think is good against full hop?
Against full hop?
Yeah.
It would be...
Play the ground a little more. And just...
Yeah, like stay closer to the ground and overshoot a bit, no?
Well, if he's full hopping, then he's coming down to defend his space sometimes. But we can punish that.
Okay.
We can dance. Go to the edges of the platforms on that, when you're knocked up there. Because we want to go to spots where we can do slide off and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if you don't get it, like, again, we're making him jump in a direction, so it's harder for him to combo.
Right.
Bodied.
That's just unfortunate for him.
It is. That was a gorgeous dash dance. Jesus. Don't be afraid to, like, okay, so the other thing I'd say is, if you know he's gonna full hop, do not be afraid to, like, get on the, like, to use your wave dash and your up tilt. Like, don't be afraid to, like, use your up tilt, basically. You need to set it up with wave dash or aerials, or, like, run cancel, which is a little bit more awkward, but, like, it is very powerful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You could also short hop up here to, like, anti-air as well, which is also, like, pretty good. With that one, you're kind of, like, trying to do the hitbox early, and you don't fast fall as much. Like, you fast fall later, basically.
I thought I was gonna get that up there, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, he sniped me.
Something fun if you're late on the tech chase, and you, like, you think they're gonna up tilt or shine, just full hop or short hop, like, around their counter hit.
Oh, okay. So just, like, oh, I see what you mean. And then I can just quickly punish immediately.
Yeah, you, like, back air or something, and then just keep going. You want to make sure you're managing your edge invincibility correctly. Like that, when you grabbed it kind of early, so at that timing you want to refresh, like, quickly. Alternatively, if you cannot refresh quickly, then try to bait them, honestly, with your jump. Like, they know that they can see that you grabbed the edge kind of early. They're probably going to try to hit you or something, or like do something sneaky for like grabbing the edge slowly. Use your jump to bait them.
Okay.
And then in the best case scenario, just grab the edge, at the right time, which is a little later there. But if you do grab it early, those are your options. Those are some options to get you started. Because, yeah, like, I know everyone's like, grab the edge immediately. No, don't. Take it from a Sheik player who made their career out of edgeguarding. Like, yeah, don't. Grab it at the right time.
Oh, Med always tells me, he's just like, you know what, like, for Sheik, you want to grab it as late as possible.
Yeah! Or you grab it early, and then you, like, do a refresh. Because the thing is, the right time could be early edge grab if you can refresh. I wouldn't do it if you have to do more than one, though. Why do you think more than one is bad? Or not recommended?
Refresh?
Yeah.
If I know if it's done wrong, they could, she can definitely take it from you.
Let's say she's far away enough that, like, she can't do that. Why do you think I'm still not in favor of it?
You're not ready to react.
Yeah, you can't, like, threaten her or anything. Like, because if you have the time to do a second refresh, then you could have also, like, jumped off. You could have, threatened to shine her. You could have forced her lower. You could have done all these very productive, useful things, and instead you were on the edge. So it's just not it's just not efficient. It's not a good use of your time.
Right.
You could have even shot her with lasers when she was recovering off stage, and then at least had a better edge guard when she did come back. But you did not do any of those things because you grabbed the edge super early. Oh my god.
Okay, I understand.
You're good. Wow.
This is, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to freaking stroke Meds' ego, but this is from playing him for 10 years. I remember. I'll never forget. Oh, I mean, I guess I could like really quickly talk about it while I search.
Yeah.
So, I picked Fox because when we had a small little tournament in Yuma, and Meds showed up the first time ever, and he played for Melee and PM. This was before I switched to Melee. In PM, I was a Lucario player.
Mm-hmm.
So I played Lucario, and Meds messed me up with Fox, and I was just like, dude, this guy is sick. I need to play him. And
That
ever
was
since
very
then,
well timed.
I played him.
That timing there, that is a great timing for the up air in general, like for the up air tech chase in general. That later one that covers miss tech and tech in place, yeah, it still gives you time to like grab the rolls or like up smash them if you're like fast. Like it lets you like deal with the rolls if they're fast. Yep, he's out of here. Why don't we try ranked? Are you on ranked?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, what's your rank right now? You're probably like what, like GM or something?
I wish. I'm gold 3, I think.
What? What?
Yeah.
How?
I don't play ranked as much.
Oh, okay.
I mainly just ping on the Arizona Discord. And then
Okay, gotcha. You're one of those people.
Believe me, I like playing ranked now. I used to hate it. I used to just despise it because it would just piss me off. But now I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it. Yeah, Meds is actually also the one who taught me about to do the late up airs. He definitely inspired my thoughts a lot. I always say that it's because of him, Mango, and Joey really that inspired my Fox to play how I play. But it's more Meds, just because I would see him like, holy crap, he plays so fast. I want to play that fast.
I love hearing stories like that. It's so sick. So this guy has gone for like the jugular very quickly.
No. No, estoy bien.
Something fun to do about Fox when he techs in place like that on these side plats, you can also short hop up here below him.
Oh right, yeah.
It's a little easier to do sometimes. Okay, so he was already out of stun there. That's okay. What do you think you could have... Next time, what do you think would be a better move? Just anything. Just throw it first idea.
Probably in between Nair and back air.
Back air's the one. Back air is better hitbox. Much better sharking tool.
Right.
So you're definitely late on that tech chase. Remember, like think about when you were trying to hit in relation to the tick.
Oh, I think you cut off again.
Oh. Did I do that? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I have to figure out this darn microphone. Nice DI. Nice.
Oh, that's not good.
See, that's where we need to refresh and like timer edge grabs later. Cause yeah, like I'd say if you're early, just try a refresh. You don't have to do a Firefox refresh. Double jump is totally fine. Just imagine how you're gonna do it.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want you to think about it while you're playing. Just like focus on him, because you're gonna trust yourself to know to do that when that situation comes up.
Okay.
We can beat this guy. What stage are you thinking?
I was thinking of running it back to PS.
Is that because you think you're better than him there? No, is it a salty pick, or do you feel confident there?
It's a comfort/confident pick.
Okay, that's fine. Just take a deep breath before you do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Just want to make sure we're making the decisions for the right reasons, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Easy clap. Fair hits pretty high in front of... Fair hits kind of like above and in front of you. At high percents, it's not a bad choice if you need to like just keep something going and they're in an awkward position like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a little bit more disjointed, I think, than his Nair is in certain ways. So it sounds silly, but like if he's at 130 like he was, and you just need to like keep, like you hit him kind of awkwardly with up air, it's not a bad way to an emergency option, but only at high. I would not do it at like, I would avoid it if he's not like, generally like at least at 60. Ooh.
Dang it.
Okay. He is playing for, yeah, he was playing for reversal in the corner. So, again, you know how to pick that apart. We bait them more. And then we occasionally, and sometimes we just push. If he leaves himself open or something. Or even if he doesn't, like, if he's just, like, doing something that looks like we can push on it. Okay. See how he's full hopping around you? There we go. If Fox is coming forward with that full hop thing, just running past, like just bolting forward is not a terrible solution.
Oh, okay.
Because like he's coming at you with like an angle that like basically, it's like a big arc. So if you want to get under him, like if you go to kind of like the first third of the arc itself, yeah, you can just kind of like avoid it entirely a lot of the time. But you just have to stay on the ground.
Okay. Oh no. Was a refresh?
I think I might have distracted you there at the end. That's my bad.
No, you're good. No, listen. I told myself like, oh, I'm gonna refresh here and I'm gonna ledge dash, but I did it too quickly. When I let go of the ledge, I pressed side B first. Unfortunately.
These things happen. I'm glad you went for... Honestly, the most important thing to me is that you went for it. Because, like, I can see you trying a lot of things that we're talking about. And I think that's, like, the thing that matters most. So, Jigglypuff, how do you feel about this matchup?
I hate it, but it's fun.
So, what do you hate about it? What's, like, the biggest... what's the thing that you wish you could solve, like, today?
Be familiarized with the matchup?
Okay.
Since I don't play any puffs, that's really it. Because the combo I kind of have it down. From talking with meds really, and also from watching other Fox players how they play against Puff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just more just being familiar, not getting grabbed.
Get under her. So when the way you beat this character is, remember, above her, like from the angles, and getting below her. Those are her 2 weak points. So the getting under her is like a little bit more ubiquitous. But like when she does those things, we can, like those high jumps. If we get under her, we can up tilt. We have our back air, like we have our nair, we have our up air, like we've got like the goods. So we want to make getting under her whenever we can a big priority.
Okay.
Try to use longer dashes too. I don't think we need to be like quite so like jittery.
Okay.
Because like the thing is, we want control. The thing about Puff, we want control in versus her more than we want like speed. Speed is important, but like not as much as like precision.
Mm-hmm.
See, like when she went above you, I would have been looking for up tilt rather than like trying to reposition, because we're already in our good spot. Right? See, that's what I'm talking about.
That was really okay. And now I just did the exact opposite of what you told me.
No, not. You know what? But mistakes are part of the learning process. Right. So it's all good. Like, so I think with that one, you just kind of like picked a direction to move in before like we knew where she was going. That's okay. Next time we'll know better, or we'll mix up more. Try to stay under her when she's like when she's with your pressure when she's on the side plat. Use more like up airs and stuff, like up airs, up tilts. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Especially if she's on the side platforms. Like we can just stay. We don't have to like jump up to where her shield grab is. Love that. So how does this feel compared to like? Is this like normal for how you do the matchup or?
No, this is actually better.
Okay, what do you like about it? What feels good?
I'm going in with a game plan. It's really that. Because I would go in with kind of an idea. I'm like, oh, I need to not get grabbed. I need to make sure that when I hit her, it's in a way that I can continue a string but not be too greedy. And that's it. and then I'll just let, in other words, just let Jesus take the wheel.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, I feel like, and the thing is, like, we accept that the game plan will never capture everything. It can't. It's not like what it's there. Like, the game plan isn't capable of like giving us everything. But it gives us a starting point and a way to test things. That's how I always look at it. So what's our counter pick? Are you a stadium guy or more of like a Final Destination guy?
I'm a stadium guy.
All right, nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's like, it's either the most efficient stage or the other most efficient stage. So
I have kind of a dislike for
FD.
For FD, yeah.
Why? It's where you do all your combo practice on.
I don't know why. A lot of things are just probably from back in the old, like in the previous meta time, where it's just like, oh, you don't want to play for chain grabs, you don't want to play for this. It's just a lot of old habits.
Okay. So remember, like, if she's already on the ground, we want to bait her. or get into like an angle where we're coming in diagonally. So she's already on the ground. Like we want to still obey like the generally we want to like respect the positioning rules of the matchup.
Right.
Jesus, that dash dance. I wonder how I'd do against you. I'd probably get fucked up. That's okay.
I've seen you play, man. I've seen you play. Your Nez is disgusting. It's really fucking nuts.
I do some pretty. I do some pretty wild stuff, but I don't know. These are some very good looking dash dances. Why are you like? So when he comes forward after you do like the short ones, why are you afraid to just like hit him if he like misses? If you confirm he's missed.
I think it's not a matter of well, maybe subconsciously it is afraid.
Okay, then what if it's no, you know you better than me. This is just my theory. I don't actually know. So what do you think's going on?
I'm afraid to mess it up. Really? It's
just that. Oh, then you are afraid of messing. Never mind. I take it all back. That in that case, don't be. Just try some of the time. If you like, because the thing is, there's nothing. You won't get good at like hitting the things under pressure if we like let it if we let it control us now. So just give it a whirl. Oh my god, she's dead. All right. So what do we let this fool have?
He can take FD or FOD. As much as I love Battlefield, I always ban it in tournament.
Really? Always? Fox is so good there.
I like having the wall to tech. So whenever I up B, because I almost always tech, and then I get the safe option to get back on stage. I remember back when I was learning Melee, I spent probably an hour just learning how to get the tech down. So I did the practice thing where you would throw like 20 mine bombs and you would just up B to it and then tech on Dreamland. Some video that I saw on YouTube, probably from Melee tutorial, I think. And then I was just like, you know what, this is gonna come in handy, and I'm just gonna keep practicing it. And now, majority of the time, I just tech as much as I can. Like I've gotten some weird techs, even with like meds, where I'll take like a tipper if we're playing Dittos, or sorry, not Dittos. If we're playing Foxmarth, I'll take his tipper, and then be able to wave land back on the stage, like a reverse wave land. It's just I don't know.
That makes sense. I think that so my whole thing is there are some edgeguard routes that are not techable. And I think that Fox, when he's at his best, is he should be recovering high. So let's focus on beating this puff, because I think we can bring this back easy.
Okay.
Maybe not easy, but like I think we can do this. If we don't, it's all good, but we can. It's okay.
I was too focused on trying to get underneath.
Yeah, you started tunnel visioning, but this is an important lesson, because this kind of exposes the limitations of a game plan, right? So like the game plan should never get in the way of you following what your hands and instincts have told you is the right play, because your instincts calculate way more information than the game plan does. The game plan is built without like the contextual information that we pick up about their playstyle, about how they fight. So it's incomplete by design. Really, the game plan is supposed to steer us towards better decisions, but like we shouldn't. It shouldn't be like our Bible for the
like
for
our
like the game.
Yeah. I see.
So
I definitely felt it too when I was getting to the last talk. I was thinking, get underneath and get that up tilt. Get underneath and get that up smash, or anything that you can do to get underneath.
And you can now see exactly why. Like, but no, this is good, because this is one of like the first big lessons of like competitive play that we learn. At the end of the day, the lab cannot simulate anything we come up with in the lab, whether it's a game plan, a combo, whatever. It will never capture the full complexity of the live environment, and that's just that's okay, because even if everything else is perfect, what about our hand positions, right? Because it could just be that because of what we've had to do, our hands are misaligned for the input. Right. So then that's really the value of easy options that don't require as much. Like, ultimately, this game is played by humans, and human hands have limitations. So that's really where some of the value of simple options come from, and that won't be captured by the plan because they won't be as efficient. So that's kind of like that's a big thing I wanted to stress, but I think like I was very, very pleased with what I saw, and I hope that you took some things from it. How are you feeling about this?
I took a lot, honestly. I took a lot of just how to think, not necessarily it wasn't something. It wasn't like, for example, today we're working on section A and section A only. No, we talked about everything that we possibly can that goes on in a match, and you just widened it, but also focused really hard on it. Like, it's kind of hard to explain because you did both at the same time. Like, we would talk about one specific, for example, with Puff just recently, for example. Like,
positioning, right?
Positioning was one, yes, and then, for example, also remembering the audio cues that the game gives you.
Yeah.
When tech chasing a fast faller, as well as the visual cues, stuff like that that I didn't really pay attention much to. I mean, that helped me tremendously.
Awesome. You know what? I'm thrilled. Like, I got value out of this lesson. Like, on our first day is like the best thing that I can hear. So I will let you go because we are at time. But this was lovely, and I hope that we can do this again.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'll definitely be hitting you up again. You helped out Mads, and Mads would talk a lot about how well your coaching is. He talked about how you like to help in a way where you focus tremendously on strengths. So for example, let's say Mads' strengths are to be really aggressive in positionings and likes to take advantage of his speed. He was telling me that because he also told me that you coach everyone differently, and you coach to their style. So it's not much of like it's not like a one for all, you know? It's more like you're catering specifically to that person. And that's what I thought, you know what? Because I've had previous coaching experiences, but with other games. When I was playing Valorant a lot, I would get coached. And you could tell when some coaches were giving one for all answers, and you could tell when they were catered specifically to that person, and they're saying, you know what? This is what you are doing. Not the best options, but this is what we can do to fix your mistakes. Not to fix everyone else's mistakes, but we're focusing on you as a player. And I can tell that you did the same, and it's like, oh shit, like this is high quality level coaching.
That's good to hear. You know what? Okay, so I know we're at time, but I will share something with you. If you think about who the best players were of all time, how many of them are really by the book, like truly by the book? And we can't count Cody because he just happens to be writing it. But, like, if we think about, like, the truly by-the-book players, even out of the Five Gods, I'd argue there were only, out of the Five Gods era, there were, like, probably about, like, 7-ish S-tier players, like, probably Mewtwo King, Armada, Mango, PPMD, Plup, Lef, and Hungrybox, in no particular order. Of those, I'd only say that Mewtwo King and Armada are really like the ones that are like hyper textbook, and Mewtwo King's like has an asterisk next to him because of like how weird his gambles are. Yeah. Like in terms of raw textbook, they're usually in the minority because this game is very like there's a lot of ways to win and succeed in this game, and I think that it would be really a real shame if I just, with all my like experience and with all the things I have to offer and all the disciplines I know and how to understand this game, if I just was like, oh yeah, up tilt here, that would be so disappointing.
Yeah, and I've been through those kinds of coachings where it's like Valorant being a tac shooter, you have to focus a lot with movement to make sure you don't have movement error when you shoot, and they would tell me, oh, you should
don't miss.
You should counter strafe here. It's like, dude, no shit, I got to counter strafe there. In that moment, I told myself I got to counter strafe here. That's why I missed a shot. I need you to help me and tell me, you know what, maybe you could do this option instead. If your counter strafe is not this good, we can focus on another positioning, another option. So it's like I've had both styles of coachings where it's one for all, and then ones who really genuinely care about just the growth of the people they're coaching. And I mean, with you, I Mads would talk a lot about how you would coach, and now getting it firsthand, yeah, it you could tell that you're interested in just helping the other player grow, not necessarily just telling them what are the best options because they're the best options. You want to see what they do and help them grow based on how they play.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're gonna play the way you want to play. So
Mm-hmm.
I just give you the same. I just give you the tools to to enhance whatever you're doing, and I figure you'll do the rest. Yeah. So I think with that, I'm gonna close. Oh wait, did I just disconnect? No. Okay, yeah, I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
call it.
sorry. Sorry.
Okay, perfect. So, but yeah, I'm just realizing how late it is, so I'm gonna head to bed. But
Yeah.
if you want, if you think that this is something you might want to do regularly, like every month or so, let me know. Like, think about what a time might work, and like send me and let me know. And yeah, I'm happy to reserve that time for you going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, in the meantime, I hope that you and your, I think whoever that was in the background, I think wife.
That was my mom actually.
Oh, mom. Okay. Well, I hope you and your family have a lovely rest of your night. And yeah, this was great. I'll see. I'll hopefully I'll speak again with you soon.
We'll definitely be speaking again, man. This was really good lesson.
Amazing.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night, Guru.
You too.